Okay, friends, I think this is going to be the last in my series of learning how to do color mixing with the help of Zali's Infinite Palette online class. And oh my gosh, I think this is going to be the toughest lesson out of them all because it's basically to bring everything together and actually use it in a more practical sense. For me, what that is going to mean is maybe trying to color match some of the gorgeous pattern papers that I get to craft with from the Not Too Shabby shop. So this is from the Paper Pad Club for May of 2025, and I love the colors. I mean, it's kind of right up my alley of teal, like a minty green, teal, and pinks. Really, really love it. And but I know I don't have these colors just straight out of the gates. So, one of the things that's a challenge, and in particular, I'm looking at sort of this color here, which I really love, and I am almost positive I don't have that in a solid color cardstock. So the question is, can I mix that color? Can I use what I've learned in this class to mix the colors that I can't readily find in my craft room? Oh, this is another really pretty one. So let's see. I'm really nervous about this practice, but it is just practice. So I've picked out a couple things because I think I might like to try to mix some of these colors as well. So what we were taught in this lesson is how to, well, really not how to, but just an exercise of trying to guess what this color is in terms of where does it land on the color wheel firstly. So what hue is it? And if you missed my palette scout first look video, I talk about some of the common terminology when we talk about colors, and hue is a reference to distinct colors along the color wheel. I kind of use it interchangeable with the word color. But we're talking about distinct colors without adding any white, black, or gray to them. So firstly, you want to identify what hue are you looking at, and so this is sort of like a teal color, right? It's a blue green. I feel like it's maybe leaning a little bit more bluish than like a yellow green. So I feel like it's a more cool blue green. Then next is to identify, is it a tint or is it a shade or is it a tone? So a tint would be if you were to take a color. So I feel like, and this is kind of why I picked out these two, I feel this leaf color is probably this, as a base, but then it's a shade of this. So it's this plus, some black to darken it. Whereas these lighter areas here, I feel are this color with some white to create a tint. Just like this, I think, is a tint of that color there. So I think that's what that color is. And then part of this lesson is to see how close we are. So using the Palette Scout cards. So I know teal is ocean, so I'm going to pick out all my ocean colors. Okay. And then I've got my ocean colors. And then I do think that this is a shade of ocean. because it's dark. So I think the leaf is going to be a shade of ocean. But actually, I think, and I didn't predict this, but I think, let's get a larger leaf. So that's that right there. Maybe it's pretty close. But I'm wondering if actually, is it more like a toned down version? So let's take one that's not quite as dark. Oh, yeah, see, it might actually be this one. It's not quite as dark of a shade, but I don't think it's bright like that. So yeah, something in this range, and maybe with like a little bit more like a more yellow green added to this. So I kind of think this is in the ballpark. We're kind of there. So then the question is, how do we mix this color? Okay, so how do we mix this color? I did kind of accidentally mix it. Well, not accidentally, but this was from video 1. This was my exercise from video 1, where this was my close approximation of ocean, but ocean like a pure intensity ocean. I didn't quite hit it, but I think I was kind of close. So I think that's where we're gonna start. And to mix those two colors, I used this blue and this yellow. So this is a cool yellow and this is a cool blue. So I am going to start there, cool yellow and a cool blue. And we did also, if you get the course, there's some printables that you can download and use as part of these exercises. And so that's the cool yellow and that's the cool blue. So I'm gonna start there. So I might start here, and but I want to push it maybe a little bit more towards the green because that feels like that's where that is. Let's just swatch out quite a lot here. And I don't, if I remember right, I don't think I need a lot of yellow. But I do want to push it more towards the green. So let's get some blue over top. That might be about like equal amount of blue, but I want this to be more teal. So I'm going to go back in with more blue and then even more blue. And because I feel like that yellow is really trapped and maybe already sort of locked into the grooves of the paper, I'm going to just add a little bit more yellow in the middle as I layer some more blue. These are chalk pastels, and I picked them up so that I could actually do this class because I feel like they blend really nicely. So it felt like this would be a medium that would help me to be a little bit more successful. So I'm not struggling with my media supplies as I'm trying to struggle to learn this. Because for me, it's all very new and I'm not very good at color mixing. So it's been fun, but it's not without its challenges because, I think everything when you're new to it is going to be challenging, but it's always fun to learn something new. And where's the fun in just sticking with the things that you know? So that's why I'm on this color journey of just trying to like understand color, get more comfortable with playing with color. And it's not something that's gonna really change overnight for me, but I am finding that in taking this class, it's at the end of the day, really the biggest lesson I've learned is just to have a little bit of a play, and that these lessons and color theory and all of that, they aren't gonna become second nature to me, straight away. But it's getting physical with the colors that actually helps to maybe not ingrain it, but it helps to have it lock into my skill set a little bit better. It's like, book learning versus the actual practice of of a skill. Okay, so I think that's very green, to be honest. It's not very teal. And we don't even think we're super, so I'm gonna put more of this. And ultimately what I'm trying to get at is these dark leaves, which I know is a shade and possibly even a tone down shade of Ocean, which is the color name. And because it is a shade, I'm gonna throw just a little bit of black in. And also because it is a tone, now I'm just gonna throw the black in on this side actually, just so we can experiment a little bit and see what that does. And then I think it might actually be like closer to this color here, and that's a tone, which one of the lessons we learned was if you want the tone of a color, then what we want to do is take its complement. And the way to find the complement, if it hasn't been ingrained in your mind yet, is these cards. So the complement here is, I guess that would be like maybe a warm red. I mean, I think technically that's flame, which is sort of a reddish orange. So I'm gonna throw in a reddish orange as well. So let's say we're experimenting and we throw in a little bit of the complement here. What happens? And then what happens? Oh, let's do that here. And then what happens when we have a little bit of the complement plus we shade it down a little bit. All right. So I don't think I've mixed this. So I'm gonna mix this. This was after adding a little bit more blue. Okay. So this is adding just the complement to maybe try to tone this down a little bit. And this is toning it down and adding a shade to darken it. Ooh. Hey, this is actually kind of getting close to that. Oh my gosh, it's working. Wow, this is kind of cool. I thought I would have a complete fail, to be honest. Wow, okay. I mean, it's not exact, right? I think it's a little too reddish, to be honest, but it's getting there. And then if we just wanted to see the shade by itself without toning it down. Interesting. Okay, so I'm not quite there with this yet. So what I think I need is more blue. Yeah, more blue. And a touch more black. And maybe a little bit more of the complement. I kind of like to bury the colors that I'm mixing somewhere in the middle so that when I'm mixing it up, it feels like it's less streaky. Oh, look at that, getting closer. I mean, once I start blending, the Q-tip really picks up a lot of the pigment, so it knocks the color back quite a lot. Look at that. Not too bad. Let's put it up against I mean, this is such a small little swatch of it, but look, I don't think I think I did decently well. Please surprised. Okay, check it out. I mean, it's not spot on, but I think I kind of got there in the end. Pretty okay. I did better. Let's put it this way. I did a lot better than I expected. Okay, that was fun. This particular paper pad is a lot of the. I think this is just a really lovely pink, but I don't think we would mix a lot of colors to get that. So I don't see another color in this particular paper pad to try to replicate or try this exercise again. Let me check the other paper pad that's part of the paper pad club, and we'll see if I can do this again or if this first time around was just pure beginner's luck. Okay, so I found this lovely color, which I think is more of a is it kind of like a mauve? So I'm gonna try to do the same thing, but I'm gonna super speed this up because it's really the same process of first trying to identify the right color on the color wheel. So what hue is it? And from there, you want to try to guess, am I working with a tint, a shade, or a tone of that hue? And my first pick was wrong, but it got me kind of in the ballpark. And also, I actually thought that I was looking at a shade. I knew I was looking at a tone, but I thought I was looking at a shade also. As it turns out, not so much. I'm actually looking at a tint of hibiscus, but a tone of it. And so I wasn't actually too sure how to mix up hibiscus because it's sort of like a peachy pink, I guess. And so what I did was I mixed a warm red with a let's see. I mixed a did I is that what I did? Yeah, a warm red with a warm yellow. Just a little bit of a warm yellow. And I think I got kind of close to that. And when you want to find the complement or when you want to take the tone of a color, like just tone it down a little, you can add the complementary color. And in this case, it was green, but it wasn't really, I tried a lot of times. It wasn't really working so well. And I just kept on layering more and more on top of this particular swatch. So with these chalk pastel pencils, what I found is that if you have like a lot of the pigment, it tends to, I think, blend a little bit better. And then I also like to make a little bit of a blending sandwich. So I like to add, you know, the color that's just like a little bit added in this case the green that's gonna meant to tone down the color some. I just sandwich that somewhere in the middle and I like to layer more color above and below it and then blend out. So I thought maybe because I had already done a little bit of blending initially that it wasn't really it was more creating a glaze, you know, where it's like one layer on top of another layer rather than it all actually mixing. And so I tried to mix it up fresh with the four colors that I thought were the right ones. In the end, I don't think I really hit it, and that is actually more what I was expecting from this exercise because it takes practice. I'm, you know, I guess in retrospect, thinking about how I was able to do okay on that first one, teal is a very comfortable color for me. It's my favorite color. So I guess it's not too unbelievable that I would be able to kind of recognize the hue of it and the tint of it and the tone of it a little bit better because it's a color I just work with a lot more and I'm more familiar with. And so I can kind of pick up the nuances of, a more greenish teal versus a more bluish teal. Whereas this color is a little bit more foreign to me, so much so I don't really even know the proper name of it. I think it's a mauve, but I'm not 100% sure. And so I'm struggling a little bit on how to actually mix the colors so that it looks, the way that it does on the pattern paper. But I think it's just a matter of practice. And the last lesson that is in the Infinite Palette online course that I've been taking is on troubleshooting. And so I need to watch that, and I probably need to rewatch this lesson on how to put it all together and do color matching. So I'm gonna do that, but this is probably my last video in this particular series. If you've enjoyed being on this color mixing journey I've been on these past 3 videos, then I have some really good news for you. So firstly, I want to thank Sarah Resnick and Anna for actually giving me an early access to this infinite palette class. I'm super grateful that they reached out to me and allowed me the opportunity to try this class out. And I got to give them a little bit of feedback along the way. And really, I'm the one who benefited the most out of this because I am very new to color mixing. And so I've learned a lot. So thank you so much to Sarah and Anna for extending me the opportunity. And I have some good news for all of you. So if you're watching, thanks for staying to the very end because you get a chance to win the Infinite Palette Color Mixing 101 online course by Zolly and a Palette Scout. They are allowing me to actually give away 2 bundles of this new color mixing online course plus the Palette Scout deck combined. So each winner will get both the physical Palette Scout and as well the color mixing online course. So incredibly generous of Zolly. And so if you want to enter for a chance to win, I'm gonna request that if you already have the Palette Scout, please don't enter because I don't think there's any reason why you need to. So if you're interested in just getting the course, then you can do that. But I would love for anyone who has been thinking about getting the Palette Scout who doesn't already have it, I invite you to enter this giveaway so that you can win both the physical cards that come with the Palette Scout as well as this amazing color mixing course. So all you have to do is expand the description box below and then click on the link to Rafflecopter. Put your information in there by entering the giveaway. Just want to be fully transparent. When the giveaway ends, you're going to be added to my email newsletter list if you're not already. So just bear that in mind. And I hope you'll stay subscribed to my newsletter even after the giveaway contest ends, because I try as much as possible to give my newsletter subscribers some extra perks, some behind the scenes information, early heads up and announcements, things like that. And so that's just as a thank you to all of my newsletter subscribers who say subscribed. So again, just expand the description box below. You'll see the link to Rafflecopter. Make sure you enter before the deadline. And then make sure to check my YouTube posts for when the winner gets announced, because if you're chosen as a winner, you need to claim your prize. When you enter the giveaway, all I'm going to ask you for is your email address. I don't like getting too much information from people if I don't need it. So I don't need everybody's mailing address. I only need the mailing address of the winners. So when and if you are selected as one of the 2 winners to get the Infinite Palette Color Mixing 101 online course and Palette Scout bundle, then you need to claim your prize. When you claim your prize, that's when you tell me your mailing address, and then I'll pass that information right on to the folks at Zolly. And Anna is really fast at getting prizes out the door to you. So she's been incredible to work with. I really appreciate Anna and Sarah Resnick so much. And they've really changed how I look at color, how I think about creating color palettes, and now with this course, how to mix colors and create colors. So it's really super. I can't say enough good things about Zolly and this system of resources that they've put together. And I feel very grateful to have had the chance to be gifted these wonderful tools that have been quite game-changing to me as a crafter, especially as a crafter who is not very well versed at color. So huge thank you to Anna and Sarah again. Now, if you are a winner, I also have another ask of you. When you get your prize, please shout out Zolly. If you are on social media at all, I would love for you to let them know that you won the Infinite Palette Scout color mixing class and the Palette Scout. It helps them on social media to get more engagement. And so, every small business, it can be helped in a lot of different ways. And that goes for your favorite content creators too. When you're shouting them out and thanking them for this wonderful prize that they've donated, tag me too. I'm at LV Handcrafted. Tag me and let me know you got your prize. And it helps us both. And you don't necessarily always have to spend money to support your favorite brands, to support your favorite content creators. You can help us by being engaged with us by watching my video like you are now. You're really doing a lot to help my channel grow. And by sharing, liking, tagging, and telling more people that we exist, that helps us. So thank you so much, and good luck to everybody. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.